everyone. A lot of you have asked for classroom management type strategies. So I'm going to show you some of the things that we do in the classroom to help reduce behaviors and help keep us organized throughout the day, to help reduce them getting bored and also the total disorganization of a room. So I'm going to quickly show you some of the strategies we use, and then if you have any questions, let us know down in the comments below. So the first thing we use is stop signs. Ours is a French immersion program, so we use stop signs on materials that maybe weren't put away properly the day before, or just things we don't want them using, things that maybe weren't necessarily ready, that they're not ready for, or just things that we don't think that they are able to use yet, whether they just didn't put it away properly or whatever. Next thing is that we use these white bins. You can see that each center has a white bin on it. We use this to help the kids. So we start by just writing what center it goes with. And then inside, for example, this week we're doing counting with spiders. So we've got the spiders, we've got little things to count them into. This helps the kids be responsible for putting away the materials and also know where things go. Something else I often do is just take a quick cell phone picture of what the material is in each bin, so that if there's ever a supply teacher or if the kids forget, I just stick this picture right in the bin so they know what belongs in that bin and what belongs on this table. Here's another example. This is sort of our art and writing center for this week. So it's not a very exciting center in terms of setup. We just have some orange paper because we're making a class book, some pencils and crayons, as you can see in the photo. And then over here we've got some kids wrote out the words that we're using with some pictures to help them write their own stories to add to our class story wall. Here's a third example of how the table looks with some different bottles. And then in here we've just got, some pom-poms and different sensory items, some pumpkins, some seeds from the farm trip we just went on, etc. And again, this picture goes in here so the kids know exactly where to put things away at the end of the center time. Another thing we do is on each table we write how many friends are able to sit at the table, and we only put that number of chairs out so that they know how many kids are able to use each activity, and so there's never a fight about wanting to sit there. The first 4 there get to play with the activity first, and then they rotate through as the spot becomes available. Another super easy way to reduce confusion and have the kids help put things away is by labeling things. So for example, this is our kitchen center, also our dramatic play. It's a lot of student-made items like this, which is a little crumply, but how to set a table and what the words are, so it builds literacy, but it's also good for them to learn life skills and dramatic play. Up here is their plan for what they actually made. This is a restaurant. This is their drive-through, for example, and they showed us that in their plan. My final tip is to have student-made materials, such as this. I find that they take better care of it when it's something that they've helped make and they know how much work went into it. So for example, we do baking every Friday. This is some of the ingredients and the recipe that we followed. Now they wrote it, so they have been very careful with it. There wasn't even a need to laminate it because they have been very good with it. Same with up here, we've done this number wall, but if you take a look, it was all student made. So I wrote the number 4 up here, and then I gave them these materials and said, how can we represent the number 4? And this is what they showed us. So again, when they've made it and they were part in constructing the classroom and figuring out where things go, they're much more likely to follow what you want it to look like and keep things orderly. Another idea that we've used is using these sort of PEC systems, the picture education system, communication system rather. So here we've got a list of things, how we behave in circle. And so it allows them, sitting with your legs crossed, looking, listening, raising your hand, quiet voices, and then we reward them at the end and say, good job if you followed all these things. So having visual prompts and reminders to help the kids do a good job and be better at self-regulating. Last but not least is our behavior chart. So I've taken all their names off just because I didn't want you to see what their names were, I guess. But this is our behavior chart. It's just very loosely stapled to our board. And so we have the sort of flash or traffic light system. So of course this is something they're familiar with, and it helps us teach road signs as well. So it's a cross-curricular item, but also in the morning they all start on green. We've got clothespins for each child. And then when they feel that their body is getting too energized, or if we tell them that they need to take a break and just take a little relaxed break, then they move up to yellow. That's sort of their warning. When they get to red, that means they need to stop whatever activity they're doing, put it away, and go and have a break in our quiet activity corner, which is just over here. I'll clarify, it's not a timeout time, it's not a punishment, it means that their body is getting too high and they need to bring it back down to green. So then they are, again, self-regulating and moving it up and down as they feel that they need to. Another piece to that puzzle is having a visual schedule. So we always like to let them know what's happening and what our day looks like. So, and if things change, we have to, explain it to them so that they always feel in control. This also helps with the kids who are a little more anxious or maybe who are misbehaving because they simply just don't know what else to do. So it helps set expectations and helps them feel in control and understand what's happening during the day. Another tip is to have a place for kids to go when they're feeling overwhelmed. Obviously, all of us have days like that where we need a body break. So here I've got 2 of these dice that came from, I think, the Dairy Farmers of Canada. So one has a number and the other one has prompts. They are in English, but that's okay. I am teaching French immersion, but it's okay. So, push-ups, jumping jacks, sit-ups. This would be really easy to make as well, but they came for us, so we use that. And here we've got some yoga cards, which I showed you in my classroom tour. So this is our Busy Body shelf. This is where students can go as one of their options when they get to that red station. If they need a body break, they can choose one of these activities, and we change up the activities every week so that they have new things to use. And then they have that option because we all have days where we need to have a body break or just to get some energy out. So this is one of the ways that we give them a tool to constructively use that energy instead of being violent or causing chaos. So they can come to the quiet corner or to the energy corner and have a break and use one of these materials to get energy out and then go back to productive play. The last thing I wanted to show you in our classroom is our self check-in and out system, which has 4 categories: present and absent, which are easy enough. Then we also have one for the washroom and one for the office in case kids get bumped or need to go to the office, or if they're in the washroom, it helps us in an emergency to know where the kids are at a quick glance, and also to help the kids know who is here and who is not here. So this is another system we use that we find really helps us in our classroom because we actually have 32 kindergarten students and they switch halfway and then we get a different 32 in the afternoon. So this has really helped us and has really helped us kind of maintain good classroom management. So I hope that was helpful. I know it was not super inventive tips and a lot of them were probably things you've seen and heard of before, but hopefully some of these gave you some inspiration and ideas to help if your classroom is having some issues with classroom management strategies. So let me know what your favorite classroom management strategy is down below, or if you have any other suggestions, then we can all use it as a resource and I would love to hear your ideas. Thanks so much for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye!